Hi, Frank. Was there any reaction to the choking out your wife in a minute comment last night when you got home?
I didn't say a minute. It takes a little bit longer than that. She's pretty clever. No, actually, no, I don't think it reaction. I think everybody understood that I was just trying to convey the thought that I'm a very competitive person, and I'm not going to be sitting there thinking about who's my buddy and who's not my buddy. You're in there throwing punches at me, you know what I mean? I'm just going to compete like any other athlete in any other sport would be. Sometimes, though, for fans, I try to put things in very understandable terms.
Hi, Frank. In your mind, how does this fight play out? Because I think a lot of people are expecting you to do quite a bit of grappling, given your background, your history, and having had that type of match before. How do you expect it to play out?
Really, you know, I feel like I'm better in all aspects of the game than Roy. Wherever he tries to take it, you know, I think it's a losing battle for him. I don't really feel like there's any aspect that I have to avoid. So I'm just going to go out there and be aggressive and do all the things that are high percentage, whatever that may be. You know, if I'm out there throwing a jab and his head's popping back and he's not countering it, I'll just keep doing it. If I go out there and, you know, he grabs me, then I'll throw him to the ground and be on top, you know, whatever happens.
And you're a guy, you've had a lot of big fights, fought for championships and all that. Rampage in the last few days has talked about, you know, not necessarily being excited for fights. How do you stay excited? How do you stay motivated to train and go through the whole process and make sure that you're at your top level when you fight?
I think it'd be like asking Batman, how do you keep excited to do your job? That in itself, you know, you picked it for a reason. You know, a new blockbuster comes out. I never get tired of action movies. That's my thing. Well, fighting is my thing. It's not like I did it for any other reasons. I have nothing to prove. I'm a pretty self-confident individual. I could walk into any club and pretty much pull anybody's ladies from them. So, you know, I do things because it makes me excited. It's something I want to do. I love martial arts. I love training and competing. I love the hardship behind it, that it's difficult to do, and it tests me. I don't know if that'll ever get boring until I get perfect at it, I guess, and I'm still a long way away from that.
Does it surprise you, though, when you hear someone like Quentin say that? Because he's been a really successful fighter. You can't knock his resume, but is it sort of weird to hear him say that he doesn't get excited? Or
I mean, Quentin grew up differently. You know, I didn't really have a hard life, per se. I've sat with Quentin, and I've heard some of the hardships that he's grown up with there in Memphis. So fighting to him might mean something different than it does to me. I can be completely cozy, warm, have a full belly, and if you know, present a competition to me or an opportunity, I'll get up and go fight. A lot of people fight because they're hungry. I never had to do that, you know. So for me, fighting is purely a spiritual thing. It's not born out of any desire to raise my abilities out of the, you know, raise up my status or to, you know, secure a bank account. I do it purely for the reasons of love for it.
Frank, you and Roy have kind of, a lot of the questions have been about you guys' friendship and how friendly you've been, but is there any kind of underlying tone? I mean, I would think that two guys who've known each other for so long, at least from a competitive standpoint, just in the back of your mind, you saying, I want to prove to this guy I'm better than him, since you guys have been around the same people in the same circles for so long, is there any of that?
No, I think just because there is no such thing as one person better than another person, really. I mean, you guys fight each other 2 or 3 times. You have rubber matches. Guys lose, win. There's so many situations that occur for any outcome of any competition. You can have the NCAA basketball tournament, you know, and the champions can play in the next series. Let's do it again, and they're not going to be the champions the next time around. So does that mean one team's better? Like, what definitions do we really define what a better fighter is? There is being as best as I can possibly be, and the opportunities of the person in front of me are always going to try to bring that out in me. That's all I care about. If I throw a perfect jab, I'm happy. If, you know, I throw the perfect combination at the right time and everything lands and my eyes are open, I'm happy. If I threw a kick and I didn't really mean to and you duck into it and I knock you out, I'm not happy with that. That's incidental. That's accidental. I didn't control that. That's nothing I can earn or own or go home with and be excited about. I really don't think about the opponents in front of me when I'm competing. I don't think about winning and losing. Maybe that's why I can brush losses off and defeats and step forward, where other people are, you know, cowardly in the face of adversity because they think about the outcomes. All I think about is all the little pieces in between. So really competing with Roy is better or worse. I mean, me and Roy can go fight, and, you know, I'm not really worried about the outcomes. I'm worried about what's going to happen to get there.
And how confident are you moving forward if you beat Roy, looking at what's ahead of you? If there for a while, you had lost to 2 really great wrestlers. Everyone knew that you were working on your wrestling a lot. Is that still a focus of yours? And how much more comfortable have you gotten in that aspect of your game?
A lot more comfortable. You know, Mike Whitehead out of Arizona now comes down and trains with me, stays at my house throughout the week. You know, Ricky Lindell from the University of Grappling in Utah has been instrumental, and he's going to be in my corner, helping me out, put together the wrestling with the jiu-jitsu. You know, I think the biggest thing was, I think wrestling before, I wasn't a fan of it because I consumed myself with the fact that it took a lot of strength and power. There wasn't technique behind it. I've been shown differently. I realize now how much technique there is behind it, and so I'm really invested in learning how to do it. As far as my confidence level with it, it's pretty high right now.
Frank, you talked about your confidence, and you always seem to have your confidence up. Do you think there's one area in this fight where Roy has an advantage over you?
No, I don't. Roy and I have trained together. We know about the matches. We know all the history. Roy at night doesn't, he knows, and I know, so no, I'm pretty confident.